Welcome to Ainsley News. It's Friday, the 29th of January. Pretty big news last night with silver surging over 5% on the back of WallStreetBets GameStop call. Well, it seems in no small part by the now infamous WSB or WallStreetBets Reddit group that saw the likes of GameStop shares surge by 1,700 or 1,700% in days. Trade in our own Silver Standard or AGS silverback tokens last night on CoinSpot was huge. So what is WSB about? WSB are a Reddit community of over 2 million people who both capitalistically and simultaneously altruistically bid in a coordinated manner heavily shorted shares such as GameStop. Loved by participants and cheerleaders for the little guy and equally loathed by Wall Street hedge fund managers getting whacked. And their guardian SEC, they have proven the power of the internet forum and use of platforms like Robinhood. When we say altruistically, they have tended to favour companies dear to their heart, like GameStop, or hurt by COVID, like AMC movie theatres. Silver, rather than gold, is often the preferred metal for such investors, given the relative technical upside potential, and it being the everyday person's metal, along with the added background narrative of its price being suppressed by the Wall Street short sellers. So how does it work? Simply, there are certain heavily shorted shares where hedge funds and other short sellers have placed short bets through put options in their belief that the shares will go down based on their analysis that the company's fundamentals. For instance, GameStop is a mall-based seller of video games that are now largely available online. It's shorting Blockbuster some years ago, or dare we say, soon banks with the advent of cryptocurrency and DeFi. As the coordinated buying of the WSB crowd drives up the share price, all those short sellers need to cover their positions by buying the shares, which in itself adds momentum to the price rise, and hence the name a short squeeze. It locks in healthy losses for the short sellers and even higher gains for those going long. Fast forward to yesterday and WSB are now targeting silver. Why silver? Well, as most readers will know, silver is one of the most heavily shorted commodities in the world. The theories on why vary from it simply being miners legitimately hedging production through the bullion banks, to the billion bullion banks such as JP Morgan using client paper or futures, shorts to suppress the price, while loading up on the now cheap physical silver on their own account. Through to the theory of government-sponsored shorting of all precious metals to effectively hide the relative debasement of all the new paper currency that they've printed. After all, gold and silver are real money. Irrespective, the chart below that we're going to show you illustrates clearly the sheer size of those shorts for the big bullion banks and commercial traders. Check out silver there. You can see the short sellers represent a bit under 5.5 months of world silver production, or about 378 million troy ounces of paper silver held short by the big 8 commercial traders. Outside of that 8, the 26 odd small commercial traders are net long silver by that amount too. To be honest, the narrative matters little in this case because a coordinated attack on such a small market like silver with such massive short positions in place could be spectacular in its outcome for the price. The one caveat on this is that whilst the silver market is relatively small amongst other assets, it still dwarfs a small company like GameStop. And so we are yet to see how far the reach of this phenomena, that is WallStreetBets, can go. Last night would indicate that it can indeed move the market. One final note, and a very important one, GameStop and the like were probably legitimately shorted due to poor business models or challenging market positions, etc. Natural value may be restored after the WSB pump. Few could argue that the shorts on silver are about its fundamental weakness. We are in an extraordinarily bullish setup for silver right now. If it is the miners hedging, then it is simply miners being miners and not speculators. They have produced their silver, and that came at a real cost, and they now want to lock in profit through selling it or shorting it on the futures market. That has nothing to do whether they think it will go up or down. They are miners. If it is that the bullion banks using client accounts to short and suppress the price to load up on their own physical bullion, well then, giddy up and go hard, because that can only mean that one day the price will rocket when they take their foot off, when they are ready to profit from this practice. With the recent convictions against them and the tools that they've used to do so, you'd have to think that their days are numbered. Either that or on the next big financial crisis, they may use their stash as their insurance. And that's news for today. Hopefully it gives you a bit of insight as to what all this Wall Street Bets and GameStop stuff is all about. It's everywhere in the news. Whichever side you're betting for, we wish you luck. Remember ainsleyBullion.com.au for all things physical, ainsleywealth.com.au for all things cryptocurrency, and goldsilverstandard.com for our gold token and our silver token. Also, you can trade that on CoinSpot. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch you on Monday for more news.